Good morning, y'all. I am out here doing some gardening, repotting a plant, an indoor plant this time. And you're gonna see all this in here because I am too lazy to go inside and get my tripod because it's getting hot out here and I want to get this work done before then. But I decided I wanted to just kind of talk to you real quickly about beginning again. And this gardening thing just has me just reflecting on how it mimics so many decisions and things that I've done in my life. And I just wanted to reflect, or not reflect, but I just wanted to share these lessons with you. This is a plant that I'm repotting. It's a plant that I bought at Trader Joe's like, gosh, I don't know, probably a year ago now. And I bought it for like $8. It was cheap. It was smaller than this, but I think it's become, yeah, it's like root bound or rotted. Well, I don't think root rotted, but root bound. And anyway, one of the lessons, there's so many lessons that I've been able to learn from this whole planting and gardening thing, is that you can really begin again at any time, and it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It only matters what you think. And the reason that I say that is because there years and years ago, I would buy some plants and I'd stick them in the ground. I do no real research on it, didn't pay attention as to whether or not it was getting enough sun or enough shade. Wasn't watering them enough. Wasn't taking care of the weeds. I just wasn't putting any time into it. I think I would just see them in the garden center and go, oh, those are so pretty. And then I'd, come home, stick them in the ground, but then didn't put any time, didn't put any effort, didn't have any patience. And therefore, you can imagine the results that I got, right? Which was not good at all. But how many times do we do that in our real life? How many times do we start something and start it? Or we're worried about what somebody else thinks, or because of the stories that we've told ourselves, what I like to call it, in our prisons in our mind, because anytime we have limited ourselves or are so worried about what other people think about the decisions that we make, we really set ourselves up. We have formed a prison for our mind. And when I think about, the many different times that I have done that, I have done that so many different times in my life, worried about what somebody else thinks, what somebody else feels. And really the only thing that I need to be concerned about is what the Creator feels and thinks about me. Pleasing my Creator, not pleasing people. Because anytime you try to please people, it is never going to go the way that you want it to be. And I don't care if those people are your spouse or your children. Anytime you're trying to do something solely for pleasing another human being, you are setting yourself up for failure. So when is the last time you reflected on what it is you really want to have, what it is you really want to do, how it is you really want to feel? And I'm not saying get rid of your relationships unless they're detrimental to you, okay? But I am saying that you can begin again, you can repair again, you can make up for the past mistakes, the past poor decisions or poor choices that you made. Even if some of those relationships, even if some of those decisions involve your children, and some poor choices that maybe you've made that as a result has caused some friction amongst your family. Parents are not perfect, okay? Children are not perfect. No human being is perfect. But the beauty of life is that you can always begin again. You can apologize. You can start again. You can start anything again. I just read about a woman, I think it was on Instagram. She's 72 years old and she lost 120 pounds. Do you know what kind of effort and mindset she had to develop in order to do that at 72 years old? Because, after 60, we're like, well, this is a body I'm going to have. I'm about to die anyway. I'm just going to live like this. It's so many stories that you tell yourselves when you're over a certain age, because society has made you think that after a certain age that your life is pretty much over. Not only are they expecting you to retire from the workforce, a lot of times people expect you to retire from life in general. Y'all, I don't do bugs, okay? Which is another reason why I am so amazed that I'm out here digging around in dirt. But my point is is that whatever it is you want to do or want to change about your life, you can. Change those relationships that mean the most to you. Become better at it. A lot of times we look for somebody else to help us, but we don't open our mouths. A lot of times we look for, or we think somebody's coming to save us. That's what I mean to say. We think that somebody else is coming to save us. You need to save yourselves. You know, you need to look inside, and it's not easy. You think it was easy for that 72-year-old lady to make the decision to, and not only make the decision, but to see it all the way through, to lose 120 pounds? 120 pounds, right? I'm focusing now on losing 15 pounds. And I'm like, she lost 120 pounds? Oh, I can do that. Not 120 pounds, but you know what I mean? 15 pounds. Or maybe going back to what I said about your kids, maybe there's things that you can repair in your relationship with your kids. Fix it. It ain't too late. It's only too late when you're 6 feet under the ground. Or you have a spouse that you really love, you want to be with, but there's some problems there. Fix it. Or you're not in the job that you want to have or the career that you want to have. Fix it. Or you don't like the way your house is. Fix it. Or you're drowning in debt. Fix it. All of this stuff, as long as you're breathing, you can fix it. And that's what's so cool for me about learning this gardening thing. Like, I could fix all of this. If I don't like a plant in a certain area, I can fix it. I have a very good friend who she's an incredible gardener. I've known her for years, and I never opened my mouth. As beautiful as her yard has been in any home that she's ever had, I never opened my mouth and said, hey, how did you do that? Can you help me? I want to really do this. I never did that. Thank God she did reach out to me and say, hey, let's get some flowers in your yard. And that just set off a whole new thing. I mean, putting the time, the effort, watering, weeding, carrying these heavy bags, digging, sweating in the sun, literally on my hands and knees, you know, getting this yard right. And I absolutely love it. I love it. So it's just a matter of making a decision, deciding what you want the outcome to be, and putting in the effort to make it happen, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how frustrating you become, no matter what somebody else says to you about what you can and can't do, no matter what you say to yourself, because a lot of times not even a lot of times, all of the time, what you say to yourself is far worse than what anybody could ever say to you. And if at the end of the day, you're not satisfied with you, there's nothing that anybody else can say that's going to change that. It has to come from within you. It has to come, that desire, those action steps that you need to take. Like this plant here that's all up in my face, because I won't go in the house and get my tripod to put this phone on. But this plant here, it was really, really small. This is June, and I got that in May, early May. So in not even 2 months, just about 2 months, this thing is growing and growing. And I take care of it. I water it. I weed it. I make sure, I made sure that it's getting the right light. It takes some effort. Plus I had to pay for it, right? So again, I just want you to think about, what are those things in your life that you're dissatisfied with? What are those stories that you told yourself that you could or could not do, or that you can and cannot have, or that it's too late for this, it's too late for that? And for God's sake, please don't compare yourself to anybody else, because you don't know what somebody else is going through. What looks good on the other side, I guarantee you it ain't. I don't care who it is and what it is and what they have, whether it's looks, whether it's money, whether it's prestige, whether it's fame, whether it's fortune, whether it's whatever it is, whoever it is, whatever you think their life is, it is not exactly the way that it appears, because we're human beings and we all go through problems and mistakes and challenges and tests and trials and tribulations. So go after the life that you want. Go be who you want to become, all right? And first of all, start changing the stories that you're telling yourself, and really the lies that you're telling yourself. And so I'm going to go ahead and get back on into this plant, because I got to take all that out and retransplant this, or transplant this. So, and I want to get this done before this sun really gets out here. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. And hopefully you find some value in it. And, you know, let me know in the comments, you know, what have you done? What are some of the things that you've been able to do to kind of unlock your mind? Because that could be helpful to somebody else too, you know. So yeah, leave in the comments, what are things that you have done or things that you are doing to free you from that prison in your mind of your limitations of what you can and cannot do. With that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace.